Industrial production of lipase. So here we are going to see about the specific organism Pseudomonas aeruginosa. So we already know that the industrial production, when we are talking about the industrial production, we have to concentrate on the upstream and downstream processing. So the overall production process will be the upstream, and the purification, harvesting and concentrating of your products, final product, packaging, everything will becomes under the downstream processing. So it's same like we should identify the microorganism first, and then we have to see for the raw materials, which is very essential for the conversion of our desired product. So the raw material plays an important role, and if it is very cheaper manner and which can able to give you a maximum yield, then the industrialist will go and select for that particular raw material. And the supply of raw material is also very important, because the overall production will be like a continuous process. They have to produce all these products in a continuous manner for a year or 2 or 3 years or 4 years. They have to continuously look for it. So the raw material plays an important role in it. So once a microorganism have been identified, then we will go for the media formulation. So we know that it requires carbon, nitrogen sources, organic and inorganic salts, and also some of the surfactants is more important here. Some of the inducer is more important for this production of lipases. So we will select everything, and then we will go for the sterilization process in order to remove the contamination while the production is going on. And this lipase is one of the secondary metabolites, so it requires to be wait till the stationary phase. So the seed fermenter will be used in order to enhance the growth of that microorganism, and then the optimum conditions will be maintained in the production fermenter. Here for this particular microorganism Pseudomonas aeruginosa, we required the optimum condition, the pH such as 7.2, temperature should be 35. It requires agitations for about 125 rpm, and the overall production time will be for 3 days. So once the production is over for 3 days, then we will undergo some of the downstream processing. So then we will see the media composition. What are the media composition required for the Pseudomonas aeruginosa? So it requires peptone, yeast extract, olive oil, dipotassium hydrogen phosphate, magnesium chloride, calcium chloride and ammonium salts. So these are the media which is essentially required for the Pseudomonas species. Once it have been prepared, the media is sterilized, everything, then we will allow that inoculum to grow in the seed fermenter. Then once it have been reached the stationary phase, then this inoculum will be fed into the production fermenter. In production fermenter, it will contain the fermentation medium, and the optimum conditions such as the temperature should be 35 degree and 125 rpm. And after the production of lipase is over, after 3 days, then the harvesting of the product will be occur. So once the product is taken out, the product will also contain some of the microorganism byproducts and some of the waste, waters, everything will be present in it. So that will be first concentrated by using a centrifugation process at 10,000 rpm for 4 degree, and it is for 20 minutes. Once the residue is settled down in the centrifugation process, residues will be discarded, and in the supernatant the lipase will be produced. This should be concentrated by using an ammonium sulfate precipitation method. So this lipase will be precipitated out from it, and then it will be taken into account, and it will be washed down, and it's dried, and the product have been collected. So once the product is being collected, it will also undergo some of the chromatographic techniques, ion exchange chromatographic technique, for the purification of our lipase, which is very specific for this downstream processing. So this is the overall flow chart. We can see the inducer, carbon sources, nitrogen sources and some of the surfactants. So we will be very specific on the inducer selection from olive oil, palm oil, corn oil, coconut oil, soya bean oil, and fructose, sucrose, lactose, galactose and glucose. So some of the nitrogen sources such as yeast extract, peptone, urea, tryptone, then ammonium salts and sodium salts and all, we are going to use it on. Then some of the surfactant STS, 2080, Triton, X100 and CTAB, all these surfactants have been used for the industrial production of our particular lipase. Once these things have been formulated, we have been identified, then into the reactant fermenter we will maintain the optimum conditions such as temperature, pH, agitation, moisture content, everything will be maintained. Once the production is over, then filtration and acidification process is carried out, and this lipase will be optimized lipase production have been isolated from it, and then it will undergo some of the purification steps. And even the crude lipase is also used for some of the industries. So based upon the uses, the lipase will be collected and it have been transported. This is the overall one more thing. In production, the pre-purification process, then isolation process, and also the purification. The upstream processing. In production, you can see the upstream processing. We have to know about either it is an extracellular or intracellular product. So when we talk about the enzyme, we should be very careful that the enzyme will be produced inside the cell or outside the cell. If it is external, then we will directly go for the acidification process, filtration process, and all flocculation or sedimentation process. So if it is an intracellular, then we have to rupture the cell and we have to collect that particular enzyme along with some of the components present in that cell. Then we will undergo the further purification process and all. So once those things are identified in the upstream processing, then we will go for the pre-purification method. As I told you, like ammonium sulfate purification precipitation method is one of the salting out method. From that we will undergo the dialysis process. From here the lipase will be somewhat purified, and on further concentration process like liquid extraction or solvent extraction process, and also by crystallization chromatography technique, or else the fraction liquid extraction process, we will completely purify the lipase. All the byproducts and also the remaining waters impurities will be removed over, and this purified form will be tested for its activity, and its stability will be identified. Then the product is being polished and it is packed down in the industries. So this is the overall upstream and downstream processing of an lipase. Okay. Then Pseudomonas aeruginosa species which will produce this lipase have been used in the dairy industries, detergent industries, and also in leather industries. So in dairy industries, for the preparation of cheese and butter, they are using this lipase, and for detergent industries, in order to remove the greasy stains, they are using this, and in leather industries, for cleaning the leather processing, they are using this lipase. So this is the basic uses of the lipase which have been especially produced by the Pseudomonas aeruginosa. I have already told you that this lipase will have a very vast application. When we talk about the industries like detergent, dairy foods, bakery foods and beverages, food dressing industries, health food industries, meat and fishing industries, fats and oil industries, chemical industries, pharmaceutical industries, cosmetic industries, leather industries, paper industries, and also cleaning industries and all, they are using this lipase. So how they are using? Exactly in the detergent industries, for the hydrolysis of fat, for the removal of the oil stain from the fabrics, they are using this lipase. For the dairy foods, we can say as a flavoring agent in milk, cheese, butter preparations and all, they are going for it. In bakery industries also, they are adding this lipase as a flavoring agent, and also it will increase the shelf life of that bakery food. In beverage industries, in order to enhance the aroma of that beverages, they are adding this lipase. In food dressing industries, we know that it will improve the quality as well as it will also enhance the flavor in that particular food. So like mayonnaise dressing, cream whipping and all, they are using this lipase. Then health food industries. In health food industries, it will act as an, for example, the transesterification process is carried out in order to enhance the quality of that health food. And in meat and fish industries, for some flavoring agent and also for the removal of the fat in that meat as well as the fish product, they will use this lipase. In fat and oil industries, mainly for the hydrolysis process and especially for the coconut butter, fatty acid, glycerol, and also for it will be converted, all the fatty items will be converted into fatty acid, glycerols as well as the hydrides. So then in chemical industries, it will act as an enantioselectivity and also for the synthesis, even for the building blocks of the chiral molecules they are using it. In pharmaceutical industries, if the people is not able to produce this pancreatic lipase, then they will give you as a drug. So digestive aids or else some of the specialty lipids have been given from the drug. In cosmetic industries, especially for the synthesis process like emulsifier and moisturizer, they are using this lipase. In leather industries, in order to cleaning that leather, the hydrolysis process will be carried out. In paper industries, in order to improve the quality of that paper, they are using this lipase. In cleaning, especially for removing the fat molecules present in that industries, they are going for this lipase. So it's same like, even though some of the applications in food, textile, paper, leather, in order to remove the hydrophobic substances, bioremediation process, even in the effluent and industrial wastewater treatment and all, they are using it. And also for the production of biosensor, they are using this lipase. Even for the biodiesel production, they are using this lipase. For the ester synthesis, for the production of detergents, emulsifier, for the production of polymers, also they are using this lipase. So lipase have a very vast applications. That's all about the upstream and downstream processing, and also the select the microorganism and what are its types of lipase. Everything have been discussed here in this video. Yeah, thank you.